A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant escalation of military presence, over the weekend, more than 2,300 National Guard troops stationed in Washington, D.C. began receiving firearms as part of their law enforcement support role. This move comes amid President Donald Trump's controversial deployment of the National Guard to the nation's capital, a decision that has sparked both concern and protests among residents. According to officials from the Defense Department, these troops have been instructed to wield their M17 pistols and M4 rifles strictly for self-defense or in critical situations. The engagement protocols dictate that lethal force is only permissible when there is a reasonable belief of an imminent threat of death or serious bodily harm. This means that Guard members must perceive not just a threat, but also that the threat has the ability and opportunity to cause serious harm. The firearms being issued to the National Guard include M17 handguns, M4 semi-automatic rifles, and in some cases, M9 pistols. These weapons are comparable to those used by police departments across the country. The M4, specifically, is a standard semi-automatic rifle known for its capabilities in various law enforcement scenarios. The decision to arm the National Guard comes after President Trump's assertion that Washington is plagued by crime and disorder, despite statistics showing a decline in violent crime rates in the capital. Trump's rhetoric has painted Washington as one of the worst places on earth, claiming it has been overrun by drugged-out maniacs and homeless people. This characterization has raised eyebrows, especially considering the city's substantial homeless population, which is estimated at around 3,700. Many of these individuals, while some find shelter, are left with no alternative but to sleep on the streets. One homeless individual, 50-year-old Al, shared his experience with the increased federal presence, stating that DEA agents approached him shortly after the National Guard's arrival, searching him for drugs or alcohol. Al expressed frustration at being told to leave the area, questioning where he could possibly go. The deployment of the National Guard has placed the Washington, D.C. Police Department under direct federal control, marking a historical shift in how law enforcement operates in the capital. The federal response includes not only the National Guard but also Park Police tasked with removing graffiti and the FBI, which has increased operations to confiscate firearms and drugs. Over 500 federal agents have already been deployed to assist in these efforts. FBI Director Kash Patel emphasized that the goal is to bring simplicity in law enforcement to Washington, D.C. He stated, "When you have the DOJ and Trump driving behind this mission, we're going to clean up Washington, D.C. the right and lawful way." As this crackdown on crime and disorder unfolds, it has sparked significant backlash from local residents. On Sunday night, hundreds gathered in protest against federal agents conducting a search in their neighborhood. Chants of "Get out of our neighborhood" and "Quit your job" echoed through the streets as demonstrators voiced their discontent with the increased militarization of law enforcement in their community. The protests come at a time when Trump has threatened to extend military deployments to other Democratic-led cities, including Chicago and New York, raising concerns about the potential for further unrest. The situation in Washington, D.C. serves as a microcosm of the national debate over law enforcement, militarization, and the federal government's role in local policing. As tensions rise and the National Guard continues its operations in the capital, the implications of this military presence will likely reverberate throughout the country. The balance between ensuring public safety and respecting civil liberties remains a contentious issue as communities grapple with the reality of armed troops on their streets. The coming weeks will be critical in determining how this unprecedented federal intervention will shape the future of law enforcement and community relations in Washington, D.C. and beyond. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.